Cool. Adrian Mocha, we're up about 150 grand a day. All right, edit video. We're gonna go here. We're gonna go like this. We're gonna go like this. And we're gonna go save. I'm gonna go change documents. Right there. Then we're gonna go 116 realized. Yep, there. Space it out. 389. 78. All right, guys. All right, guys. We're just getting everything set up here. We're gonna go live. Okay. I am live going over today's trading day. Up 154K and real 106. All right, guys. Hope you guys been trading well out there. Hope you guys been working hard out there. As always, studying. Today, guys, as you can see, today's a green day, and we've been on quite a roll as of late. Let's see, but that's just the pace we've been on. But it's not always like that. So you guys went through that. You know exactly what happened with me. All right, let's post this here. Go like this. Then we got to go back to this. Then we got to go to 1K. Then we got to go like this. Okay. What's going on, guys? Good to have you on. Good to have you guys in. Hope you guys traded well out there. Just getting everything set up. Give me about I would say, honestly, hopefully about 25 seconds to get everything set up here. There's that, and I'm going to go 1K to 1 mil here, save that. All right, then we're going to go here, we're going to go like this, post it here. All right, then we're going to post the screenshots. Hopefully you guys had a great trading day out there. Today was an opportunistic day, just like this whole week has been, just like last week has been as well. We're just getting everything set up. Hopefully you guys, again, had a great trading day. Like I said, guys, let's see here. Obviously, the market is warming up. We got UTM. We did, actually, it was CARV, and then we can do UTME. All right, there's that. Obviously, the market's heating up. A lot of things being more volatile, and when there's things more volatile, it tends to be a little bit hotter, a little bit. When things get really volatile, that's when I do my best. Because there's more price action, more emotion to take advantage of. Let's see here. So there's that. And then we're going to go over here. Make sure I posted this. All right, cool. I'm going to go live on TikTok now. All right, live. 154. We'll do 116 because that's what I realized today. All right. All right, guys. We're live here at NoManualTrading.com. We'll try and make today's stream pretty quick. Let's bring this over like so. We're going to close it off like that. And then we'll go like this. And then we'll maximize. Okay, guys. So hopefully you guys had a great trading day out there. I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in. What's going on, Steve Austin? What's going on, Chris Mountain? First one checking in. I don't know. I think Steve Austin had you beat. Alan Croucher, what's going on? Jason Kiros, what's going on? No Name. Diego, what's up, man? Benny S. All right, guys. So obviously, the volatility is back. There's, CARV, there's Cone, there's, IPW, there's NVFY, LMFA, UTME. But yeah, So, as always, guys, when the market becomes more volatile, that's when I do my best. And obviously, we have NEGG, which went 800+% in, 5 days. We had MRIN, which went, I don't even know, 1,500% in like 7 days, 8 days, which caused blend. And then we have IPW running as well. So, yeah, guys, that's really all there is to it. There's a lot of volatility, a lot of things running, and there's a lot of chasers in the market as well. When you get big runners like MRIN, like NEGG, like BLIN, that's when you can really start to see things being chased for no reason. And that's what we're seeing on CARV and CONE and LMFA and all these other things. We're just starting to see, UTME, another one. We're just starting to see names that, what's going on, Alan, what's going on, Matisse? We're just starting to see chase, that's it. And you can see I'm taking big P&L swings. I'm up 100 grand on UTME, and then I'm down 50 grand on MRIN. Probably lost over $100,000 on MRIN today. We nailed this one out of the entry here. Right in here is where I took my entry. And MRIN, I had a nice $15,000 winner. 1680. So actually it was down here, right in here. And then this thing went to 2075. If I wait 10 more minutes, I'm up probably well over $130,000. But I don't, and that kind of got me in the FOMO kind of mentality, just like everybody else in the market, right? And so then BLIN, I ended up taking a long on BLIN. I actually nailed that one because MRN was running. And as soon as that happened, I started to buy, this stock here, and I ended up with a 780 average. So right in here was my average. And then I ended up scaling out at 823. So actually a really good trade there on BLIN, even though I missed out on MRIN, right? And again, the reason why I bought that one was because BLIN, like I said, what's going on, Ethan? MRIN was running, and then BLIN was following, okay? And then UTME, we nailed this one all day long. I had a ton of shares on UTME. UTME was by far my best trades of the day. Let's see here. Basically, just buying the dip, scaling, and then, buying the dips and scaling the peaks, right? So, that's what I was doing, basically. Excuse me. And, I was longing at 1077. All these dips, I know we're in a hotter market, and when I saw this thing start to trickle up, and then we got that kind of volume, I was like, okay, this one confirmed to me that today's probably the first green day on its move. It's probably going to squeeze some shorts out. It wasn't an easy name to trade, but I basically just started buying all the dips. I ended up with a 1077 average and scaled at 1167, so I believe it was up there. And then MRIN, I got a little FOMO on the backside of this thing, unfortunately. One of my rules is, if it has a big rip and ramp like this, when it just kind of goes straight up and it's SSR, generally that means that it was just a bunch of shorts getting squeezed out, and then it can trickle right back down to where it started. Didn't listen to my rules. Thought we were in a hot enough market to carry it farther, and ended up taking a $50,000 loser. In 1944, out 1858, so full dollar a share on size. And then I did it again later in the day, and then CARV really crushed me. CARV was my biggest loser of the day. Good thing what a hell of a short though, man. That is a hell of a short. That's all I can say. Ton of liquidity up here. Could have gotten tons and tons and tons of size. And then you just hold it into the close and you're up 40% on a massive size position. CARV, that one was insane. And then UTME saved the day. I lost $130,000. And that was with me getting in at 35.41 and out 32.84. So, if I'm still holding that, I'm down huge on the day. But I stuck to my rules. The stock was up a high percentage. Could be backside because the market's starting to kind of chase these low floaters now. Yeah, I can show the charts here. I'll show the charts. I'll flip the camera. Hopefully that works. So you can see here, this mover here. I mean, luckily I stopped out. I didn't like the price action, and man, it's at $19 now. So if I'm still in that, I'm down well over half a mil, maybe. That's just a big size that I wanted to see at least get over 37.50s, maybe 38s, and hold into the 40s. We didn't. And that's the way it goes. Luckily, I stopped out. And then UTME, towards the end of the day, I nailed that one. I ended up starting to long it, and then I was scaling. I believe I scaled. Where did I get out on this one? So 12.39 in, 13.06 out. So $110,000 winner on UTME. And then, guys, so we're up 157,000. A lot of P&L swings today, guys. A lot, like I said, I'm getting more aggressive. Obviously you can see that with my, in losses today, we took about 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. We took about $250,000 in losses today, and we still ended up with being up $150,000 today. Let's just say $116,000 realized. The other $41,000 is unrealized. So, that's the way it goes. How do I find the stocks, Tom? Well, to be completely honest, I probably take 60 to 80% of my trades from my scanner. It's available in my links in the description below. The scanner is a huge piece of my trading game. It adds to being able to spot things that we can't keep an eye on everything, right? So, we only have so many eyes that we have. The scanner is not human, so it's a lot easier to spot things. And so anyways, guys, tomorrow I'm going to be watching something like Carve, where it has this big move up, and then I'll probably be looking for the short on the backside. I think that's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what it's going to be. What is my number one watch probably going into tomorrow? Something like that, except for IPW. Okay? Now, you guys are probably wondering, why I was talking about IPW so much. And it's just as simple as it's just the concept, guys. It's the concept that I'm talking about. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, right? Like, I don't know. I never know. Obviously, if I knew what was going to work out and what doesn't, I wouldn't have lost 1.3 million in BTX. I wouldn't have been on a 2.5 month red streak. Or basically just not red streak, but 2.5 months me just doing nothing. Breaking bill, the scanner is great. Well worth it. I appreciate that. We worked hard on that. But, if I knew everything, guys, then obviously, I'd be a trillionaire. But I don't. I just take what I've learned from the past and use it for my advantage in the future. And I'm just trying to chase perfection. And if we're not trying to chase perfection as a trader, then what are you doing? We all know we're not going to get there, but what are you doing not trying to chase it, right? And so I wanted to cover MRIN, right? So MRIN, in the first 4 days, right, we went 1, 2, 3, 4, right? The big run was here, and then we made another rerun back up to 27, okay? But the first 4 days, right, we had about a, 800% mover. 1,000% mover, right? And then what fell behind it, right? And that was Blinn, okay? First day, green, right? Second day, but then the second day here was the big gap up, right? So this big gap up day was on the day of MRIN making this move, okay? So, with that being said, it's the same exact, it's not the same price range, but it's the same concept. A stock up, NEGG, right? A stock that in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, so it took a little longer, but it went up to $79, which is 800% from its lows. Okay? And then the only one running behind it, guys, is IPW. You can see here, it traded 13 million shares. The next day it traded 3 million shares. Okay, you can see there's something going on here. The volume is showing it. Just like Blinn, right? As I always say, sympathy plays look like shit until they don't. Pardon my French. But, so you can see here, day 1, no volume. Day 2, a lot of volume. Day 3 and day 4, there's, still the next 3 or 4 days, still a lot of volume. Now, my thought process, this isn't quite as up percentage-wise as high. The liquidity isn't quite as much, but I still think, BLIN ran, from its highs, like 300+%, right? And so, I still think IPW has some left in it. It's not giving up. Look at the 5 minute, right? Even down in here, we got a move up, then a move up, then a move up again. It's showing that right in here, it took all day to show it, but it's showing that it's not giving up. No matter what anyone says, no matter who says it's dead or how many times it sells off, it just keeps saying it's not dead. Sorry, guys. But yeah, so at the end of the day, this thing showed its true colors consolidating all day and then finally ripped when NEGG ripped. That is what had me interested. All day I was like, this thing might be dead. It's fine. But then towards like in here, I was like, if it was dead, it would have got back down already. We had to move up and move down and move up and move down and move up. And what are we doing? We're building higher lows with a little bit of volume perking, and then finally it takes off. And now we're just in this big flag here. You could see on the 5-minute we're in a big flag. If I were to draw something, you'd probably draw something like this, where you go, is it going to click? No, it's not going to click. So it's lower highs and higher lows, right? So it goes like this. So what does that look like to you? It looks like a pennant, something that I cover in the course. Okay, but anyways, guys, I am overnight this one. You can see it clearly here. I have 72,000 shares at a 777 average, guys. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. As you guys can see here, I overnighted IPW last night, and then I took the loss today, 15,000 shares. Okay, I thought it was going to make a run overnight last night. It didn't. Okay, now since we're holding higher lows, I'm like, screw this. I'm taking a position, and I ended up with a 777 average of 72,000 shares, and we'll see what happens. If I lose, I lose. Okay. If it has an offering, so be it. I make losses, but to me, it's worth the risk. That's why I'm overnighting it. I wouldn't just be sitting here saying, oh, well, this, and this. I mean, I'm in it with a decent amount of size. And if it doesn't run, it doesn't run. If I take a loss, I take a loss. Without risk, there's no reward in trading. You know what I mean? And that's just the honest truth. Without risk, there's no reward. And so, if IPW tomorrow starts to kind of build higher lows, it'll be on watch again. If it gaps to 10, it'll, I might still play it intraday. I don't know. If we gap over 12, though, I probably won't play it much intraday. If we gap to 10, I'll probably play it intraday. If we gap to 9, I'll probably play it intraday. That's just my thought process, guys. But, like I said, I took a loss on this overnight yesterday. I took a $10,000 loser. At the end of the day, I have no idea what's going to happen with this. I'm just saying that, the fact that it held higher lows and NEGG had no sympathy runners and it went, from, like I said, 10 to 79 in a multi-day run. I don't know. Something to me has to follow behind that. Just like MRAN, right? MRAN, it just had its consistent, keeps running, right? So, and then what runs behind it? Okay, well look, BLIN starts at 250 and runs to 14 in 3 or 4 days. NEGG, it just ran too far too quick to not have anything behind it. The only thing to me that's showing that potential is IPW, right? But again, no, and the reason being, guys, is you can see it had a run here. It had a run here on massive volume. It had a run today. Obviously, there's interest in here, guys. It's not like no one's interested or there wouldn't be volume here or volume here or volume here, right? It just wouldn't. So, that's the way it goes. It's just the concept of what I'm talking about at the end of the day, okay? Again, if it doesn't pan out, it's not the end of the world. I'll take my loss and move on. If it does pan out, great. Then my plan and process and strategy worked. Okay? I've seen these sympathy plays time and time again. They look like crap until they don't. They really do. Look at BLIN. Right? That's a prime example. Let's look at this day here. Okay? What kind of crap does this look like? Right? And everybody in chat was like, looks terrible. Huge sell-off. Tank, breaks below lows. We finally get a reclaim. Right? This chart looks terrible. It looks like shit until it doesn't. Or, you go back to this day and you're like, no volume. Now we get a big move. Now we're getting volume, right? And then all of a sudden, you start looking, you're like, okay, 480s. All right, all of a sudden it's at $14, and you're just like, wow. DWW, FYI, Cam's course is worth the dollars. I am up 600K since watching and learning. I appreciate that, man. That's awesome. I don't even have words for that. That fires me up more than anyone, DWW. If you could write in testimonials, that'd be great. I would really appreciate that. That is insane. I'm glad that some of the concepts that you're learning from me are working. I'm glad that some of the key components to what I teach works for you and continues to work for you in the future. But yeah. As always, guys, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate that. Fubo, I'm in this one long term. Nice move up today. I don't know. Long term, I'm still in it. Short term, it's not enough volatility. It's one of those that looks like a nice solid bottom bouncer. It might not break beneath those lows anytime soon. DWW, can you message me, by the way? DWW? All right. As always, guys, subscribe. Oh, Wish. Yeah, Wish is one that I'm watching. I was watching it actually today, but it just went straight up out of the gate, so I couldn't really get any clean entries. You're welcome, Steve Austin. Ethan Richard, can you reach out to me, Ethan Richard? Ethan Richard, can you reach out to me on Discord? I'd really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm still watching MRIN. It's just going to take a little longer, maybe a couple more days to look at. All right, guys. Subscribe. I'm not a financial advisor. Trade at your own risk. Have a plan, a process, and a strategy. Free chat, link description below. My course is teaching my process, link description below. Brokerage that I use, link description below. Brokerage 2 free stocks value up to $1,400. Link description below. Check out the links in the description below if you're interested in my scanner settings. I appreciate every single one of you guys for supporting the NorMaximilTrading.com community.